So far, neither of the foldables that I've tested have made it through a full day. The Pixel Fold and the Z Flip 5 both failed, but now we're looking at the Z Fold 5. With a more efficient chip than the Pixel Fold and a larger battery than the Z Flip 5, will the Z Fold 5 be able to make it through a full day? I'll have the results in this video. I started the day with 99% because of the new battery saver feature on the latest One UI update, but I don't expect that 1% to make any sort of difference at the end of the day. Plus, it's a feature on the phone, so it's really fair game. While eating breakfast, I watched a couple of videos and read a few articles on the phone using the main screen. This is how the phone is meant to be used, so it's how I'm going to be using it for the most part. Plus, it also provides the best experience the phone has, so why not use the main screen as much as possible? And I really do enjoy using the main screen on the Z Fold 5. It has a very sleek design, it has thin bezels, and the under-display camera hides really well when you're watching a video. All this main screen is really missing is a less noticeable crease and an anti-glare screen protector. If this phone had those two things, there would be no match in terms of the quality of the inner screen. The battery didn't drain much with my usage during breakfast, and it's still in the 90s, so I'm expecting a strong showing with this phone. A little after breakfast, I went for a walk to try to stay active, and when I'm out and about, I like to use the cover screen to protect the main screen as much as possible. Even though the cover screen is my least favorite of the 3 foldables available in the US, it's still not a terrible experience because Samsung has continually made the cover screen wider and wider, and the Z Fold 5 is at a point where it's not a terrible experience. With the leaks of the Z Fold 6, it sounds like they're continuing the trend of widening the cover screen, and I'm excited about that because I think eventually they're going to hit that sweet spot, and it might not even be the standard 18.5:9 ratio. It might be a different one, but we're getting closer to a spot where it's going to be a great experience on the main screen and cover screen. During my walk, I took a few photos and videos, and the results are actually pretty nice. I don't have any complaints really with the results the way they come out, and as long as you keep the phone within the range of the 3x, not extending it too far past 3x, the results are actually pretty nice. Although I would love the camera array that's available on the S24 Ultra to be placed on the Z Fold series, I can't say that it's a terrible camera array as it is. I think that upgrading the telephoto lens would actually be more important than upgrading the main sensor, considering that the 3x sensor that Samsung uses is probably the weakest one from any major brand. I think Samsung just gets away with it because they have pretty good photo optimization. I can just imagine how great the results would be if Samsung would upgrade the 3x sensor to a half-inch 48 megapixel type sensor, because with the 10 megapixel tiny sensor that's available on the 3X here, the results are actually pretty decent. When I get back home, I start working on the minimum tasks again and start streaming video. With all my tasks around halfway done, the battery is still not at 50%. It remained above 50% until a little bit before 5 in the afternoon. The performance is looking great, but based on how the Z Flip 5 performed, which was slower drainage on the top half of the battery percentage versus the bottom half, I'm expecting that the battery's gonna drop a little bit faster than it was up to this point. And as expected, as I complete my tasks, I noticed that the battery percentage is dropping a bit faster than on the top half of the battery. So my suspicions seem to be spot on. Even with this behavior, the phone didn't reach 20% until 8:18 p.m. Normally, I would feel at ease that the phone's gonna make it through the day with this battery percentage and the time remaining, but based on the behaviors that I'm seeing and that I experienced with the Z Flip 5, I'm a little unsure. However, since my minimum tasks have been completed, I just need to use the phone normally until the end of the day and see if it makes it. Unfortunately, even though it was pretty close, the phone didn't make it, so it joins the did not finish group. The battery reached 5% at 10:14 p.m., so that's about 45 minutes short of what it needs to reach. So 0 out of the 3 foldables that I've tried have actually made it through the day. However, out of all the ones that I did test, the Z Fold 5 has been the best one so far. At 20%, the Z Fold 5 had 5 hours and 12 minutes of screen on time. And as it reached 5%, the phone had 5 hours and 40 minutes of screen on time. Those numbers show how much faster the phone is draining as the battery gets closer to 0% compared to the top half. So my conclusion on the battery performance of the Z Fold 5 is that it can handle some pretty heavy use, but if you are planning to use it heavily that day, I would advise to give it a little boost before you leave the house. It would be better if the phone had 45-watt charging, but you gotta live with what you got, so 25 to 30 watts, it'll give you a decent boost anyway. Even with this outcome, I never really feel like the Z Fold 5 is gonna leave me stranded without any battery if I'm out and about. Of course, I don't use the phone all that heavily. I don't really pass 4 hours too often, and the 4-hour mark is gonna make it through the day pretty much every time in my experience. And just to note that all of my full day tests are ran with mobile network and no Wi-Fi. So if you do use Wi-Fi, that's going to extend your screen on time quite a bit. If you own the Z Fold 5, let me know how the phone is performing for you, and is it generally lasting you all day? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.